magic of the Cybernet Space Cube, the computer-enhanced podcast of the future. Transformers Slag Podcast. What's up, everybody? How we all doing this Saturday night? It's Transformers Slag Podcast in our live stream main event. Your host, Proto Man. I'm the face that runs this place. I'm the voice you hear Monday to Friday. It is Saturday. And what a Saturday it is, because we had quite the busy week for Transformers. We had the Germany Nuremberg Toy Fair. We had all kinds of stuff going on in terms of reveals and leaks and everything like that. So we're going to be covering all of that today. Drama and all, feelings hurt, anger, I don't like it, I love it, all this stuff and more. Pre-orders going up, pre-orders selling out. It's going to be, we're going to be busy. We are going to be busy tonight. We'll take some super chats. We'll vibe like we always do. And we'll just enjoy this Saturday night together. But who do we got in the chat today? So we got James. What's up, James? Fawnhart, how you doing? Will Murphy. We got Kevin. How you doing? Patrick Brown. Autovolt, one of my patrons. Rudy Mac. What's up? Twins Corner. Good to see you guys again. Horned Owl. Cringe McCringle. Check out Cringe put out a brand new toy review on Cheetor from Animated. Very cool one. And you get to see an extremely tired Proto Man after 5 days of TFCon in that review. Brown, how you doing? Who else do we got? James, what's up? T-Formers 2002, what's up, my man? Mateus, one of my patrons. Who else we got? Who do we say? I don't want to miss anybody here. Everyone's just zooming in now. Hope I don't miss nobody else. We got so many people coming in. Will Murphy just showed up. I know Aaron's in here and one other Hasbro person, which I don't know. They'll probably want to remain nameless for the time being. But how are we all doing? We're going to be talking the news. Let's jump right into it. I wanted to pull out of the collection my Nexus Prime, but I realized because he's a combiner and he's like anchored down by all the figures in the front of him from BotCon exclusives, and as I started to pull them out, stuff started falling forward. I was like, okay, I gotta worry about this later. But oh my goodness, I was looking like no joke, like Shattered Glass Hot Rod and like all those like 2008 2000 BotCon stuff was about to take a dive, and I was like, okay, I'll figure this out later. Don't want to break a whole bunch of valuable figures. Welcome to the YouTube membership, Miss Vanessa Vengeance. Thank you. So then, where do we begin? So let's start at the beginning of the week. We'll do it in chronological order from the drama. Let's start with this is always a long name. Target exclusive, Transformers More Than Meets the Eye collection. One shall stand, one shall fall. In this case, this is the one shall stand. Leader class, Optimus Prime. Did I mention Target exclusive? So pre-orders went up on Tuesday. We got a double dose. We got both the Optimus and the Megatron. And we just got to see how nice this guy looks. And the fact that you could put a piece of, Autobot City in his stomach. I remember some people were saying like, it's off by a bit. It's not correctly in exactly the spot where he got stabbed with the piece. I think I see what Hasbro was going with, though. I mean, they wanted to have the sculpted damage, but they also wanted to have the drilled area. And I think the reason for that is in the future, they could fill in that drilled area and still have the whole battle damaged body. And then they could, as JT Prime said, do the gray deathbed version. Sleep mode Prime, if you want to call it that, as Masterpiece called it all those years ago. So I think that's kind of what's going on there. I mean, those 5mm peg battle damage versions are pretty easy to put together with a drill. So it is what it is. But I mean, it's, again, I like what's going on here primarily because this is an example of people are going to buy this just to pose it in one specific way and have it displayed that way in their collection. I mean, this is a very, scene-specific figure, and you don't buy this figure just to have it posed like neutrally in your display. This is something where you have it posed in a very specific way because of it. It's kind of like some of my masterpieces, I have them posed in very specific ways to reflect who they are. Like I have like Sunstorm kind of like doing like this, because he was kind of like a messiah figure in the IDW not in the Dreamwave comics, so and even in the Takara stories too. So that's what it is here. And that's what also, makes sense not including the trailer, keeps the cost down and everything. And I like it. I like it. Again, I'm a simp for the 86 movie. Full transparency. No surprise. So anything that kind of goes, hey, Final Battle Optimus Megatron 86 movie. Proto Man, I know you're not like I'm not super big on Optimus Prime. Hey, Optimus Prime's cool. It's the face of our brand, but he's not like a oh my god, must get day one character with me. But when it's 86 movie stuff, it always speaks to me. Always speaks to me. And so I dig that a lot. I dig it a lot. Uh, but then, of course, we got this guy here, which we also got to see. And this one, I mean, same thing. It's like, hey, if you didn't get the regular version, here's an opportunity. Hopefully, the battle damage doesn't bother you too much. I mean, there was very few moments in the movie that you had good close-ups that show that battle damage. It's really pretty much like one close-up, him getting knocked off of the top area of Autobot City when Starscream dropped him out of the shuttle of Astro Train. So there's less moments here that this really reflects. I mean, at the end of the day, this reflects, in my opinion, just the aiming of the gun. It's over Prime kind of thing. With again, it's not canon, but I'll always call it Astro Train's gun because ever since I was a kid, I'm like that's Astro Train's gun, and I would look at Astro Train's character model in the cartoon, and I'm like that's Astro Train's gun. So that's what I've always felt it was. Don't quote me on it, but again, the less interesting of the two, but if I'm going to buy this to have it displayed that specific way where Optimus is, has the piece inside him and Megatron's fighting him or Optimus is kneeled over and about to get shot by Megatron, I'm going to want to have the pair. But it is something too that they're going to be Target exclusives. Because they're Target exclusives, they're going to be shipped in case assortments, just them. So I imagine it's going to be a case of two, one Optimus, one Megatron, or in the rare case of a four case of leaders, two Optimuses, two Megatrons. They're probably going to have plenty of these. There's going to be no shortage of them. I don't know. Someone correct me in the chat. Is the Target website listings for these sold out? I know that the Hasbro Pulse one sold out, but they also had significantly less had significantly less orders and less stock. So I do not know, but I know that last I checked, both of these were still in stock. So because there's less of a need for these, and because they're a little more, I guess like specified, like this is for very specific collectors, I imagine these will probably at some point maybe go on sale, and that's when I'm going to swoop in and get these. I think I'll wait for the time being, and heck, if I could get like a half of a Commander class Optimus that is more inclined to my interests in the brand, and I could get it for like $30 USD, sign me up. I'll be there front row to pay for that. Get both of these for 60, Optimus and Megatron for 60, sign me up. You know, many years ago I bought the Optimus versus Megatron 30th anniversary of the movie premium edition 2-pack. It was pretty much taking the classics toys and giving them a new paint scheme. I bought that all those years ago just because it invoked that final battle, even though the visuals of the toy themselves wasn't the case. The packaging did kind of reflect that, though. And I bought it just based on that alone. So it's kind of the same thing here where it's like, these invoke that. And I love the 86 movie. The Prime is sold out according to Fonhart. Okay, well there you go. So at least Optimus, but still Megatron hasn't. So we'll see. We'll see. When these hit retail, this always happens. When Hasbro Pulse puts it up, the pre-orders go crazy and sell out, and then like you go to retail and you can't get rid of these. I know like what was Sea Spray was a great example of that. Hasbro Pulse got Sea Spray, and then it like sold out instantly, and people are angry. And I mean, still to this day, I see Sea Spray and Brawn in Walmart. And I'm still waiting for like them to go on sale so I could get myself a cheap Braun so I could get a toy accurate Braun because I am paying Canadian Deluxe MSRP for toy accurate retro Braun. But yeah, still dig it. It's cool. According to their listings, they're supposed to the Optimus supposedly the first week of March, the Megatron the second week of March for shipping. But both of them as a pair in a case assortment will be the second week of March in Target that these will be showing up in retail. So just check out your Targets. In the first or second week of March, they might break street dates. If you want to pick these up in person, and maybe if you have a gift card or something, and get it on the cheap, you know, or just wait for a sale. Just wait for a sale. It is what it is. And those are the new MSRP of $59.99. So we've moved to a new MSRP going into 2026. The prices just keep rising. Unfortunately, it used to be $54.99. Now it's $59.99. Let's talk about something that everyone is excited about. Let's talk about Hot Wheels skates. So the second wave assortment of Hot Wheels skates have hit, and there's only one Transformer related one in this assortment. These have hit retail as of Wednesday. It was found in a Walmart last Wednesday. And yeah, there's an Optimus one. It uses an authentic Optimus art style with red shoes. And if you collected the first wave, here's the rest. you know, here's another one. The others in the wave are not Transformer related. They went for like a mixture of different kinds of styles and stuff. But like if you could see from this image, if you're looking through the pegs, it's much like the Hot Wheels diecast. Look through the top of the pegs. Look for the top of the flap of the peg. You'll see the Transformer emblem on the top right there. It's the same thing with the Hot Wheels one. That's how you'll easily identify it in the sea of all the others. So if this is something that interests you, you want to give a little skateboard to your deluxe class Jazz or whatever that has Optimus's face on it, there you go. There you go. And going from one thing that I know you guys are so excited about to the other thing, how about some authentic smash changers? I know that this was the most important thing discussed all week, of course. Of course. So again, more of that lower price point aimed at a very specific demo kind of stuff. Lizard Sphere X, what's up? Uh, that's it more or less. That's it more or less. This is going to be 1999. It's on Amazon right now. It's Bumblebee. They did an Optimus during Rise of the Beast. They did a Primal and a Scourge during Earthrise. They did like 4 different ones that I'm sure all of you ran out and bought. And no, you didn't. But here's this one. Here's the Bumblebee. Our job here on the podcast is to report Transformers. And I actually did forget to report some stuff, which I'm going to save probably for Monday. But it's our job to cover this stuff because there is a Bumblebee completist out there, and I don't want to leave them hanging. So they could put one in their hive, as I like to call it. Actually, I will say this: I wasn't the one who coined that term. That was Josh Perez, who's a huge Bumblebee collector. Calls it the hive. What's up, Larry? But yeah. Then let's get into Blockies. So this comes from the Nuremberg Toy Show in Germany. Wave 2 of the Blockies Transformers Wheels line is slowly starting to be shown. There's going to be, if I remember correctly, 16 different designs of the 1x64 scale stuff, but this is just some of them. So here's the first 4. It's going to be the Wreck and Rule collection based off of the IDW Wreckers books. We're going to be getting Breakdown. We're going to be getting Iron Fist. We're going to be getting Roadbuster. And we're going to be getting one half of Overlord. His jet mode, tank mode will probably be showing up later. But yeah, and many more to come. So, I mean, chances are, I imagine if this is an indication of what the rest of it will be, probably Springer, maybe Whirl. I don't know. Like I could take a few other guesses, but maybe the other half of it won't be, Wrecker stuff. We'll see. We will see how that goes down. But yeah, this is also something that's popping off. But there's even more also from the Nuremberg Toy Show in Germany. We also have YOLO Park, and they showed both their BMK and AMK Pro assortments of stuff. The BMK stuff, which is on the top left there, it's the Jazz and the Soundwave. Those are the more simple 6 point of articulation, very quick to assemble model kits. And again, like I said in my individual segment about this, dare I say I call them model kits? They are literally just simplistic assemble figures. Like you just kind of like, action figure with very mild assembly. Just pop in the arms and legs. So they have that going on. Those on average, they're usually between like 20 to $25, 25 being like maybe the ones that have a little bit more weapons and stuff, but usually on average they're $20. They're okay. I have one of them. It's kind of cool, but it's something where I'm more interested in their AMK stuff, which is their AMK Pro collection. We already have the painted, well, semi-painted. These are EP1s. Yolo Park said if you have any questions and or comments about the coloring, to please contact them through Twitter and let them know how you feel about the Optimus Primal and Dinobot. Uh, they look great. And again, what's cool about the AMK stuff is you're talking like almost like 35 to 40 points of articulation, blast effects, a whole bunch of weapons, all kinds of like, open and closing mouths. Sometimes they have interchangeable hands depending on the characters. If you check out their AMK Pro Transformers 1 figures that they did, it'll give you a really good idea of what to expect when you buy those because I have those and those are fantastic. So I'm really excited that they're going into Beast Wars. It's easily, in my opinion, no bias, the best Transformer series ever made. I didn't grow up on Beast Wars. I grew up on late G1, Generation 2. Beast Wars came much later. But I'm going to call a horse. And when something is the greatest of all time in terms of storytelling, it's the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. And it's Canadian, if you get that reference. So Beast Wars is amazing. And the Dinobot looks great. And it's a great alternative for people that didn't pick up the Kingdom one and sure as hell financially didn't pick up the Masterpiece one. So it looks really good. The Dinobot is going to be on the taller end. He's going to be in that 8 to 9 inch range. Primal is going to be in that 7 to 6 inch range. There is going to be a emphasis on scale and interchangeable parts and pieces and everything. So obviously something like Primal you could see here has his flight battle mask. It's probably going to come with a regular face. We already saw through some videos that he's going to have a push button flip out for his shoulder cannons. So very, very cool. Very, very cool. Very excited about these. Um, and again, supposedly Black Arachnia and Beast Wars Megatron are next for this wave assortment. It's going to be, they're always with the AMKs. They always do it in waves of four, like we saw with the Transformers 1, where they did our four main cast of Optimus, Megatron, or Orion, D16, Bumblebee, and Alita. So we're going to be getting Optimus Primal, Beast Wars Megatron, Dinobot, and Black Arachnia. Very curious how the Black Arachnia is going to turn out because we got a few solid Black Arachnia figures already through the years. Like, I mean, the Masterpiece was amazing. The Kingdom one was amazing. The Beast Wars Returns repaint of that Kingdom one was amazing. So I'm very curious to see what they do here with this one without the limitations of having to transform, how perfect that could be. Very curious how they tackle that, but looking good, looking really, really good. I like what I see. Fantastic. Give me more of that, more of the beasts. Then we have a live stream coming up very soon. We have the Takara Tomy announced through their T-Spark Twitter account. The next T-Spark Live, the T-Spark live streams, is going to be happening February 13th 8 p.m. Japan time, so that's going to be 6 a.m. East Coast Western time for us New Yorkers, Montrealers, Floridians, or whatever. And do the math for the rest because I won't. So that's going to be happening the day before Valentine's Day. The big thing that they're going to be doing here is talking about Transformers Overgear, this new high-end spiritual successor to Vinyl Tech, as they refer to it. Yuki-san's going to be returning along with Otada-san and Masama-san. So they're all going to be joining us, and they're going to be talking about this new line as well as some other high-end Takara-related products like Zoids and everything like that. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be in a couple of weeks from now, a week and a half or so. So we'll keep you posted on that. And give you the goodness on what's going to be happening. I'm curious about it because we got Energon, aka Superlink Roadbuster, aka Ironhide, getting like a throwback after all these years, and then we're getting a movie throwback to movie Blackout. So they're kind of going across different continuities and stuff. Interesting because look, Energon, aka Superlink, doesn't get a lot of love. So to go from we don't even really see them in our generation's retail line to here's a high end like vinyl tech version of Roadbuster, aka Ironhide. It's pretty badass in all honesty. So very very cool. Big Bot Bodega. It's going to be on your birthday. Well then, if your parents would have had sex one day later, they would have named you Valentino. Fun fact. No, I'm just joking. My father is actually also born on February 13th, so that was a joke that he used to always tell me. He'd be like, if I was born a year later, my name would have been completely different. But yeah, so there's that. That's going to be again February 13th. So for us that are hearing it, if you're not Japanese, 6 a.m. super early in the morning, February 13th will be the live stream, and they'll post the link on their Twitter account, which then will link you to their special account where you can watch it. Because sometimes if you watch it through YouTube, it might be region locked, but if you watch it on their website, it won't be region locked. So check that out. And then let's get into some of the big JT Prime retail reveals and leaks. Oh yeah. Let's start first with Transformers Age of the Primes Deluxe Class Transformers Prime Smokescreen. So this one here again, man, I should have busted out the original figure. Damn, should have done that. But either way, uh, look, I get what they're trying to do. They're not trying to make it 100% accurate to the source material and the silhouette. To be fair, I think all the Transformer Prime reimagines, if you will, for generations have never leaned completely into it. So this isn't too surprising for me. But it is a shame that, Smokescreen was one of those characters that his Japanese toy wasn't great. It was actually homaging a completely different deep cut. Uh, and then like he got a really good Beast Hunters version that now in the secondary market goes for like 40, $50 loose complete, which is pretty crazy, and like $90 carded. So it would have been a good opportunity to like put something out that could have been fresh, you know? But unfortunately, that's not the case. Mark Morales with the $5 super chat. The damaged Optimus figure can be used to recreate the death scene, but you can also recreate the Morbid Season 3 Dark Awakening. Well, I mean, I want the Dark Awakening where he has like no arm and half his face is burnt off and it's till all R1, and then Roddy watches him explode right in front of him, and then all of that is retconned and Return of Optimus Prime as if that never happened. Oh, season 3. What a hot mess sometimes. Either way. Uh, but back, thank you for the super chat, by the way, Mark. But back to Smokescreen. What's cool about it, though, is he does have the sculpted detail on his wrist for the phase shifter. That's a nice little deep cut to an episode of the show. Again, I firmly believe that this is sculpted and designed to get a whole bunch of other unrelated repaints out of this. Look what they did with that RC mold. That RC mold saw this, that, and everything else. And what's up, Aaron? How you doing? How you doing, Aaron? But it's just something where I really feel that we're going to see a lot of other redecos from this, partials and everything. There clearly is something else planned here. I do appreciate the flip out blasters that also change into nitro boosters, if you want to call it that. It's not really how it works in real life, but still kind of cool. So I dig it. I dig it. I gotta get me some water in me. But yeah, the phase shifter is a nice touch. I dig that. That's cool that they did that. So we'll check it out. What's up, David Cabal? How you doing too? Nice to see you, my man. I'll be seeing you in a few, not too long from now. But yeah, then we got, let's get into it. Let's talk about Liege Maximo. This is This is one that I'm 90% of the way there. I don't really care about the alt mode. I never was gonna worry about an alt mode, pose it in an alt mode. As far as I was concerned, for the past 30 years, uh, I never imagined Liege Maximo had an alt mode. I always thought he was just this big Unicronian sized, behemoth of a character that was retconned into being one of the 13. But I always imagined him being like just this insane character from the Decepticon history and side of things. The thing that throws me off is just the head. Every iteration drawing that I imagined that those horns were part of the head. Reimaginings of this character would put horns as part of the head to the point that it was like almost, people were like pulling from the Avengers and Loki and now they target it and they decide to design this figure and they go, oh yeah, those horns, that was actually like a backpack thing that kind of went over. Kind of weird. Kind of weird. I think that when I'm going to display this, I'm just going to have the head aiming forward and neutral and almost like I want to almost recreate a little bit of the Jeff Senior panel that I have on the bottom right there and just kind of just channel that and that's how he'll be in my display. And yeah, okay, he has the Legionnaire darts, which is his prime weapon. That'll just be in his hand on the side or something, or I'll plug it in the back. There's probably going to be a 5 millimeter peg in the back. I'm just going to kind of like to invoke that. But you know, issue number 12 of the Generation 2 comic book. That was Jaws D's first Transformer comic, and I remember he lent it to me when we were snot-nosed kids, and I was so fascinated by like Liege Maximo and not knowing at the time that that was the last issue of Transformers that we would see for a very long time. And when I mean very long, I mean that issue came out in 1994, and it wouldn't be until if you don't count the mini comic included with Bat Primal and Croc Megatron with the toy, we would not see a comic book until Dreamwave, and of course if you don't count manga stuff from Japan, but so it would be like almost a solid 20 years after the fact. And it's pretty wild that, like, man, I love just what that character was. And so this is very exciting. What are you saying, Aaron? I want to hear your take because you're Mr. Liege on top of that. The toy match is how I've always seen Liege Maximo in the Marvel art. So you always imagined the head being separate from the horns, though, Aaron? Like that's the thing that I'm curious about. Because like for me, I've always imagined it was part of it, and later material I'd like to feel continues that belief. You know that the horns weren't like some kind of backpack cowl thing that comes over. I'm reminded of. Uh, Here's a little bit of a deep cut for some people. Beast Wars Ironhide from Tripredacus, where he kind of had like the horns of his his elephant mode kind of like draping over and stuff from the back to the front, where those same horns could be posed in different ways if you want, but that's always how I kind of like, I kind of compare it to here. But man, I like it. I like it though. I'll just pose that head forward and kind of hope that the visual and the silhouette. Let's see what Aaron says. Yeah, those big horns came from his spatula type, scapulous type place, like a demon. Well, that's how I always imagine them on the head. But either way, I love it. I'm excited about it. This is definitely one that I'm going to want. Again, if there's anything that I could take away from Age of the Primes, it's the 13. That's the big takeaway for me. Like if you told me like you're not going to get the aerial bots, you're not going to get like the hot rod homage and the Excellions and stuff, like you're just going to get 13. I'm fine with that. That's the big takeaway from that. And I love this. This looks great. Again, MSRP leader class 59.99. That's what I don't like. It's gonna In Canada, this is gonna be $70 plus Quebec taxes, gonna take me up to $80. Literally like scraping it off of my wallet here. But yeah, man, it is what it is. Spatula City. There's a Weird Al Yankovic reference on that one. Then we got this guy. Here's the heated discussions that I was seeing. People love it. People hate it. People love it. People love it, hate it. They hate it, love it. I feel there's still so much to be told here. I think that we don't have the whole story. Um, and again, I think there's a lot of people that are unhappy that he doesn't come with combiner stuff. I think that this is the universal combiner. He can combine with everybody. He's the prime of the combiners. And yeah, he doesn't come with his combiner pieces, but it is something that will be part of that. Look, he comes with the enigma of combination. And then here, I pulled this guy out. Ugh. Oh, did I just close the wrong slide? Ugh. I wasn't going to pull out the fun publication one because then I have to untransfer. But, he's colored as he should, like Heat Wave. This is the, what was this one called? This was the Robo Mashers, where you could kind of, rip off the arms and legs and stuff. So like he's colored like Heat Wave. He's got the Transformers 1 head sculpt and chest and the wing elements. I am 100% convinced that the transformed robot mode combiner head is going to be the Ken Christensen art from the Covenant of Primus. Like, I think it's going to be awesome. That's just me. I think this thing is going to be really cool. Really, really cool. I dig it. I dig it a lot. So, and I get a feeling like they're probably going to do stuff later. Look, they got to do something with those combiner limbs. They have to. So they're going to take Vortex. They're going to take Brawl. They're going to take two of the aerial bots, and they're going to make that fun publication, Nexus Maximus, Nexus Prime coloring, and they're going to give us something. You know it. You know it. I know it. We all know it. Mark knows it. Evan knows it. Hey, Mark, how you doing? All of them. You know it. You know it. I think it looks great. I know some people aren't a fan of it. They think it looks blocky. They think it looks silly. Look, we're all going to put this in combiner mode anyways. Once we know how this combiner mode is going to look and we know the pieces and the parts that can make it happen, it's going to be in that mode. He's going to be towering over your other 13 like it is with that fancy head, not the Transformer 1 head, and that'll be that. And then they could take this mold, they could do it some new different tooling, keep the head on it, and that'll be your Transformers 1 original 13 Nexus Prime. There's a lot to do here. What we're looking at, and we don't have all the information, is the foundation of a lot of other different releases that are going to be coming. 100%. 100% Diaclone. Yeah, well, of course, it has those Diaclone. Because everyone's seeing Powered Convoy here. That's why. They're seeing Pre-Magnus. Yeah, and some other guys too. Gats Blocker has a little bit of that color scheme. Giant what's his name there? Big Powered Robo. Yeah, a lot of those. Got that vibe. Got that vibe. But yeah, what does Miss Vanessa say? Since she's one of our new YouTube members, considering there are already two combiner teams in the line, I don't think Nexus was ever going to be a full combiner. Well, again, for it to be a full combiner, this is the other question that I pose to people. What would the price point be? Like if you let's say you do a full combiner, so what is our maximum price point? We're going to put that in a Titan box? We're going to put that in a commander box? How much, if they put it in a commander box, especially the way commanders are today, how much would have been sacrificed? I think it's better to piece this out. It's better something where you could have it just be a really good Voyager leader class, and then you'll get your limbs later. You'll get your other stuff later. You'll plug it in, and it'll be awesome. It'll be awesome. Look, here's something that's even more funny. The original Nexus Prime from Fun Publication took 5 years to complete. You got each piece every single year. So it took 5 years to complete this. If I have to wait a little longer to get a modern Nexus Prime complete and it's not 5 years, well, continue the legacy. Why not? But it is what it is. I like it. I like it, but again, I've been waiting for the original 13 forever. So this is cool. This is cool, and it's kind of what I would have imagined. I mean, maybe the reds would have been a little more pinkish from the originals, but then again, they kind of like changed that even with recent releases and stuff like that too. But at the same time, I mean, I didn't imagine them using the Transformer One design, but I think also from their perspective, they're like if they would have stayed true to the Heat Wave head for the smaller robot, then it would have been like, oh, but then we're just doing. Well, at the time, he was called Barricade, but we're just doing Barricade, the the Bruticus Maximus centerpiece. So I think they wanted to lean into a mixture of things. Ken Christensen's combined head, Transformer One smaller head with the body, the colors from the Pete Sinclair, Jesse Witherich, fun publication stuff, a mixture of three worlds and then some. A little bit of sprinkle of that, and we're good to go. And we're good to go. But yeah, I like it. I just want more information. There's going to probably be a live stream at some point. They're going to get back into doing live streams again, Hasbro Pulse and the team. And I'm sure this is going to come up and we'll get all the explanations of what's going on with this guy, how it's going to work, all the pieces, all the parts, and all the drama, all the anger will subside. At least that's what I think. Tom Laney says, figure get rid of the extra wing add-on. Well, the wing add-ons look like they're 5 millimeter pegs that plug off and then become guns for the character because he doesn't have weapons, unless you count the uh, the Enigma of combination. Someone did, I forget who it was. Someone did a really cool redeco into Hot Rod. Like they gave him like Hot Rod colors with the spoiler and everything, and they should have redecoed the Enigma of combination into the Matrix of Leadership, and you have like a flying Hot Rod. But again, who knows? Maybe that'll be one of the redecos later. Again, when we look, you have to look at molds, guys, and go, what's going to be the redecos afterwards? Like, this is never the end of the story. Stuff is baked in every single time. So they think in 3D now because there's a lot going on, and they need to make their money, and they need to save their money. Cringe McCringle just checked the case assortment for Wave 2. 2 times Armada sideways and 1 Nexus. Well, there you go. So Nexus is also going to be 1 per case. Oh no. So you guys who don't care about Nexus, then save it for everyone else. And then you can get sideways. They got sideways and Nexus. Voyager class, 2 per case. Beautiful. Beautiful. Well, they order more Voyager cases anyway, so it won't be too bad. But there you go. Very, very good. Very good. And that's it more or less for the news. But again, we got this boy. So I'm happy. Update. It's great. Twins Corner or Twins. I have to move my stuff here. It's going to turn out well, everyone. Proto speaks wisdom. Don't say that. Proto doesn't speak wisdom. Proto speaks reason. Not wisdom, just reason. I'm just trying to be reasonable. And then Miss Vanessa says, I've seen the ideas of being made into Cybertron Wing Saber. I could see that. Yeah. Gotta have the swords, though. Japanese one, like right up front. My display. I wish I could show you guys, but I don't want to screw up, and you can't see it from this angle. But love Cybertron Wind Saber. The Japanese one had like chrome on it, and chrome swords. It was so cool. AKA Sonic Bomber from Galaxy Force. I like his Japanese name because he does look like Sonic Bomber from Transformers Zone. But yeah, what did we get this week? And then we'll get into sponsorship. Didn't get much. One of my friends in Korea, he does a lot of like going to flea markets and stuff. And he found, you guys might have seen it on my Instagram. I posted this. He found a whole bunch of weird bootlegs of the Micromasters from G1, but they all have like unique sculpting. Like this one here, I'll show. This one, if you guys saw on my Instagram, or go check out my Instagram. It's Holly, aka Stakeout, except look at that, man. Has like a little turret on top and everything instead of the light bar. And then we got like this one's broken, but you got Peepo the Fire. Very cool. Sent me a bunch of those in a padded envelope. I was like, oh, that's cool. I don't know if he wants his name said. Some people like their privacy, but he's always like hunting around in Korea. A lot of bootlegs over there, so he likes his little bootleggy stuff. So whenever he finds Transformer stuff, he's always like, "Hey, do you want this?" You know, and I'm like, "Yes, that's really cool. How much?" And he's like, "Oh, it's $10." You know, I'm like, "Okay, sounds good to me." Proto, have you grabbed Cap yet? So actually, let me give an update. Johnny Millennium, shout out to him. He's some big video game YouTuber in the west coast of Canada and a fan of the podcast. What's up, Johnny? And he was asking me to get an update on this for Canadians. So apparently, here's the skinny for Canadians. Apparently, Quebec language laws are involved again. We will be not getting the changeables. Instead, as of Tuesday, we'll be getting anime Uno cards, cardboard. Very language friendly, I guess. Of like Naruto and One Piece, not One Piece, Bleach and a few others. So we're getting Uno cards, different decks based off of different anime properties. Because again, it is what it is. The belief is that we might get the changeables later on, and the McDonald's employee told me the only reason why he thinks that is because in the past when there was like Pokemon cards or when there were Super Mario promotions, they wouldn't release them in Quebec initially because they'd have all this English on the packaging or English on the cards. So they need more time to localize them. Now, this isn't a promise that Canada will get it at all. It's just that's one possibility. So that long-winded answer, I didn't get Cap. I want to get them all. I want to get the Happy Meal box. I want to get the stickers that they come with. Apparently, you could ask for a sticker sheet. So I want to get all of that, but I can't right now. There's one of two solutions. Either I wait a little bit and then I'll just drop a chunk of money on eBay from someone who's just selling a whole set that just kind of has everything, or I don't know. I'll see what I could do. But I want to get them. It's my boys. You know, I want to get them. These are the originals I have here, but I'll see. Here we go. It's Naruto, Boruto, My Hero Academia, and Bleach. Isn't there like two others? I could have swore there was two others. When I went to go ask, they had the display already set up. I think there was two others. I think there was Spy Family. Was that the other one? But yeah, well, there's a lot of like complete sets on eBay, so I might just drop the money and pick it up then. But I'll see. I'll see how I feel. But it's McDonald's toys. There's never a shortage of these. And these are not like the high end McDonald's toys. These are the ones that millions of kids are going to get. Like there's going to be thousands of these all over, in a couple weeks. So I'm not rushing right now to go on eBay and buy full sets. What I'll do is I'll save some listings and then see the prices go down when sellers get desperate. But I'll wait. I'll wait. But I do want to get like the Happy Meal box and the stickers and stuff. That stuff might be a little tougher to get later on. But the full set itself, I'm not too worried about. I mean, still to this day, you could get like complete Beast Wars, Beast Machines, vintage Transformer McDonald's sets from 30 years ago, 20 years ago. So this is going to be no problem. Although it's really cool, though. It's really cool. I do want them. I do want them. But that's the update for Canada. We are not going to be getting them in the immediate for the time being. And shout out to Johnny Millennium for getting me to get off my butt and ask to figure that out because he's very interested too. So yeah, yeah, I'm interested in the boxes, like the box with the dinosaur, the T-Rex, and I want the sticker sheet because like here's an example. This is again, this is Korean. Again, my Korean fan. He's like, "Oh, you want a McDonald's sticker sheet from Korea?" So like this is a sticker sheet of Korean McDonald's stuff. He sent me a bunch of things, bunch of crazy stuff in the box, but the Transformers was the big thing. But it's very cool. It's very cool. Again, I have nostalgia for this because these were like some of my first Transformers. Like no joke, if you want to call it that. I know they're not officially Transformers, but they were some of my first transformable robotic toys, along with Blaster, converters, Micromasters, the humble days before everything got out of hand and and regrets were made. But yeah, there's that. There is that. My mistake. Spy Family, not Bleach. Yeah, I thought I saw Spy Family. Thought I saw Spy Family, and I think there's one more Ninjatron. I think there's one more because I remember I was looking at the display and I'm like, it's cool, but it's Uno cards. Yeah, whatever. Uh, the sticker sheet is the under three toy, maybe. That's possible. That's probably. I know that they were giving it out, like people were getting sticker sheets, so that's going to be more finite. Sticker sheets they might have like 200 of them, but toys they're going to have thousands. Like if Burger King is any indication, every single Burger King had 900 toys every wave. So you're talking thousands of figures over a promotion. Like I remember this is going to date me a little bit. Do you remember the live action Cat in the Hat movie with Mike Myers? We probably had every wave, like they over ordered. We probably had like 2,000 of every figure, of every like plush and plastic figure. They did a whole bunch of stuff for Burger King. That'd also tell me when I was working at Burger King, like more than 20 years ago. But man, like each store easily has over 1,000. But those sticker sheets, when they do those like promotional gives out, they usually have like 200, 300 at most. So that's something. The boxes and the sticker sheets is what I'm going to probably try to get out of my way first because the toys, there's going to be thousands of them. No shortage there. No shortage there. But that's it more or less for the news. So we'll do the sponsorship and then we'll open it up to super chat questions and discussions, and that's it because we're already 1 hour in, more or less. So we will see. Tom Laney, a lot of parents take their kids through the drive-thru. Well, that's just it. I mean, if you're anyone who's in the toy collecting world, if there is one glut of toys that are just everywhere, it's McDonald's toys. Because if you think about if every time you went to a fast food joint, you got a toy for free, you'd have tons of toys. And that's why even these guys are like 35 years old and you could still find them for fairly affordable price. I remember BotCon 2008, there's actually some really good photos at the bar. BotCon 2008, there was a guy that was giving these out. He had a bag full of them and he was just giving them out. I remember Goober got like a pterodactyl hot cakes and all of those, and like they were just so plentiful, like there were so many of those. So it's the same thing, there's 16 of these, there's going to be so many of them out there, so I'm not too worried about that. I do want to get a full set, and I kind of do want to get a full set in English. I get a feeling that the French Canadian ones are probably going to come in crappy boxes or something, just my take. But that it is what it is where I live. You just gotta go roll with the punches when it comes to the stupidity that is Quebec sometimes, and how it screws over the rest of Canada. So let's get into sponsorship first. Got to give praise the sponsors. So TFCon is coming up soon. Geez, and how many? Like not too far away, a month and some. And we're going to be at TFCon. Check out Symbiote Studios. I'm rocking their Starscream. I'm even rocking their Starscream sweater. The Starscream sweater there. Very cool. SymbioteStudios.com. Check that out. Get your plush pins and t-shirts of Transformers and other Hasbro-related brands. Fun fact, I actually had a new sponsor contact me. And I'm not going to say what, because that might actually identify them, but actually had to reject them because they wanted me to talk about like their plushes and pins and stuff. And I was like, it kind of crosses with what I'm doing right now, my friend. Sorry about that. I'm gonna have to say a no. And they were they were offering a stupid amount of money, but I was like, nah, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. But they do cool stuff too, but it's not the same vibe. It's not the same vibe. So check out Symbiote Studios, symbiotestudios.com. They make the good stuff. And again, come TFCon, we're going to have the plushes of the Dinobots complete. Check that out, yo. It's going to be good stuff. It's going to be really good stuff. Fawnhart says, you'll be at TFCon Orlando in October this year? I'm going to say yes, but it's so far away. I don't know. I'll say yes now. I mean, to my knowledge, there's nothing that's going to get in the way, but it's so far away. You know what I mean? I could say yes for stuff that's a lot more closer. Like TFCon Toronto is the 100% yes. Like that one, it's a 5 hour drive from my house. You know what I mean? Even in the worst case scenario, I could just get into my car and drive over there, spend the day there, and drive back. You know, let's say there's some weird emergency or time or I can't do it. You know, I could still do the day, one day, a Saturday or something. Um, it's different for Orlando, but I was at the last one. Had a great time in Orlando last time. A lot of cool stuff, a lot of great gifts, met a lot of cool people. One of the dealers there, I still have his card nearby. Where's his card? Let me give him a shout out. There's his card. I always keep his card nearby. This guy here, the Retro Rat. I have a sticker, and then I have his card. He's a Orlando local. Absolutely amazing booth. Probably the booth that I spent the most money at that weekend. He had a lot of cool stuff, so I hope, sir, you come back because I'm going to buy some more stuff from him. He had like Marvel Legends loose complete for like $10, which is like amazing, and I was getting all the ones I was missing. So great stuff. But yeah, Symbiote Studios. Stay on topic. Symbiote Studios, plush pins, t-shirts, check them out. Again, Swoop's going to be debuting at TFCon Orlando. Once again, guys, I can't stress this enough. If you are interested in their stuff, when the doors open, go to their booth first. Because I have seen this already at the last LA show and even at San Diego Comic-Con, stuff sells out. And by Sunday, good effing luck. So if you want that Swoop or the Dinobots or anyone else, go to their booth first, make your purchase, and then you won't have to stress the rest of the day. The other exclusives from some of the other booths, you can live without. They'll still be available. These guys, if they sell out, you're going to have to wait a bit before like inventory comes back again. So get your plushes in person. Let me get a little swoop here. Like they're going to have the swoops. You know, get your little like shoulder sitter swoops. They're going to have all the cool stuff there. Be sure to check it out, symbiotestudios.com, and all their other goodness, including their pony stuff and their Magic the Gathering stuff, which I'm hyped about too. Good looking Magic the Gathering stuff. Look at those boxes. That's amazing. But again, Symbiote, let's do Urza. Let's do Jace. Let's do some of the Planeswalkers. We got to do that stuff. Eldon Tolbert with the $5 super chat. I'm glad I made my own Nexus before I got the real one. Well, there's the old one, which what does that go for now, complete? That probably goes for a decent penny now. It took 5 years to complete it. Can only imagine what it goes for today. But that's a cool one. You know, but again, buy yourself if you want to go like super fun publication accurate, get yourself an Onslaught and then some limbs and paint it. You know, it is what it is. And then, of course, the Toy Armada. So me and Aaron, we recorded a brand new segment. I hope to have it edited probably later this week. I just had to find time. It's because the news was dropping like crazy from the Nuremberg toy show. So I just didn't find time to edit. But we have a brand new segment coming. The only hint that I could give you, it's celebrating the 30th anniversary. Excuse me, not the 30th anniversary. It's celebrating a anniversary of something that debuted. That's all we could say for now. Very cool one, very good segment, a good hour and then some talking about the history of this and the story and the development. People are really going to enjoy it. So we hope to get that up on the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer. Go check out that channel if you haven't. Go sign up there, subscribe, go check out the old segments, and check it out, yo. And we'll have that new segment up. Hopefully, again, I'm hoping for this week I could get it done, edited, and put up. And it's a really good one. Really good listen. Me and Aaron talk about it. Good stuff. And again, if you subscribe to us here, go subscribe over there. Some good stuff there. And Aaron hopes to get back into doing live streams and taking your questions and checking out your stuff too. So check that out. And speaking of the toy armada with Aaron Archer, how about some Aaron Archer Posca paintings? Here's some new ones here. He put up a brand new Classics Megatron, nice big one up there. Check that out, as well as a bunch of others that are on the website right now. I don't know what's sold out, so if some of these have sold, I apologize. I do this. Slide usually around 4 p.m., 5 p.m. during the day, and then whatever happens between now and then, that's a whole other different story. But yeah, so check that out, archermonster.com/shop. Pick up that Megatron, pick up that Unicron, and some other really good ones there too. A lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff. Cringe McCringle, I'll be at Orlando. Me and the girlfriend will also be visiting Universal. Gotta make her ride Transformers the Ride. Holy it's true, eh? Transformers the Ride. Man, that'd be really cool to do. I didn't even think about doing that. Just to meet the Megatron and have him like insult me would be worth it. But yeah, that's awesome. That's really cool. Maybe I should do that. Didn't even think of that. Didn't even think of that. Maybe I should do that for Orlando. Cringe, we need to talk later. I didn't even think of that. That might be fun to do. Either way. Check that out. Shia loves those Poscas. Shout out to Cringe McCringle for the awesome photo. Go check out his channel too. Cringe McCringle. He's in the chat if you don't know how to spell it. Did a good review also. But yeah, archermonster.com/shop. Go pick yourself up a one-of-one Posca painting. Own a piece of Transformer history from the man who helped design it. And that's it more or less for sponsorship, except for myself. Again, go check out Mega Man X issue number 0 is on shelves right now. Written by me, art by Chamba. Got some good stuff. The Legends cover, unfortunately, is sold out in stores. There is no more extra shipments of it. It is all available on udonentertainment.com. So if you do want to pick up the exclusive Legends retailered set of cover, Transformer, the movie homage, you will have to go to udonentertainment.com and check out their shop section to get that. And then, of course, next month will be Mega Man X issue number 1, written by me, art by Hanzo, all the way in Japan. Hanzo's doing some great work. And that is an amazing emotional story with the Battle of Storm Eagle. For if you know, you know. So check that out. And might as well show it also. It's finally done. I got to see the final product after a couple months of working on it. Free Comic Book Day Mega Man Showdown Special, which will be available in May for Free Comic Book Day, is ready to go. And we'll be talking more about this in the summer in the spring, when May rolls around. And we get some preview pages for you guys. But oh, what an exciting book to write, that one. Proto Man got the right Proto Man. Living the dream. Living the dream. And that's it, more or less. Again, go check out Symbiote Studios. Go check out Aaron Archer. Go check out Cringe McCringle. Go check out those guys too. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. But yeah. Tom Laney, I got the Suns. Oh, Tom, you were the one who bought the Sunstorm. I had to update the slide from last week, and I'm like, oh, the Sunstorm sold. Okay, so Tom got the Sunstorm. Very cool. Who got the Scourge? That Scourge was really nice too. The Scourge was gone. There was a few others that got bought. Too. Very good stuff. Very good stuff. Throw that back up there for a moment. A lot of really good ones. I'm surprised the Unicron's still there, because that Unicron is delicious. But there's more to come, guys. Again, own a piece of history. Own a one-of-one. Good stuff. And considering that Aaron is not going to be at TFCon LA, use this as an opportunity to pick up some art from him, because he's not going to be at LA. So get your chance, get an art book, get something cool. Get something cool from him. Where else are we? And then we'll open it up to questions. I've been busy. I'll show you guys what I've been doing. I've been sorting vintage card backs of the Beast Wars era. Just making a note of what I have and what I'm missing. And here, what's funny is, so this card back, actually this one too. I wonder if my sister's in the chat, because this is her card back. This is the very this right here. This is a piece of history. This one. This is the very first. This is the card back of the Cheetor that I bought back in 1996 when I got back into Transformers. This is the very first one. I bought it from Zellers, and it's funny. It doesn't have the Zeller sticker on it, but so in this and the exact same day. Ooh, what happened there? The exact same day that I bought it, my sister bought Rhinox. And so you could see here's how much a deluxe Canadian back then cost at Zellers, 12.97. So with exchange, it was $10 back then with exchange. So for Americans, 12.97 Canadian. But right here, this is the beginning. After I bought this one, and then I bought this one at Toys R Us. For anyone knows what this one is, this one had the nicer kind of like design because this was the 2-pack. I wanted the 2-pack because I wanted to have the leaders. I didn't have money for the primal the primal ape and Barney Megatron, the T-Rex. So I got the 2-pack with the comic, and then afterwards, I think I have it here somewhere. I think I have it with the bubble. The ones that because some of these, see, I got smarter later on. I would keep the bubble afterwards, but the one with the bubble is in storage. After that, I would get Pterosaur, and then the floodgates would open from there. The floodgates would open from there, you know. But man, like so many memories. Like I would like look how good condition I kept it too. Look how clean cut those corners are. You know, my sister's is a little beat up. It's actually kind of like folded a little bit, has a crease on it, but because she kept hers there. Good stuff. Good stuff. But I went through my crawl space because I was sorting them and I'm like, oh, which card backs do I own? Which card backs am I missing? You know? That way, like if I see them in the wild, because a lot of times, because now I'm always looking for Aaron for the instructions, and people are always giving those away and stuff. But a lot of times I come across card backs and I go, ooh, what am I missing? Because I'd like to have like all the Beast Wars card backs, you know, just for nostalgia's sake, if anything. And they don't take a lot of space. Like if you don't have them with the bubble, they're pretty cool. So very, very cool. I try to keep the like later on I started keeping the bubbles. I started like going like, oh yeah, Exacto Blade. Like I started realizing like I should have kept the bubbles because they had a sticker on the front of the bubbles and stuff. But back then I didn't think about it. I was to date myself, I was like 14 years old when I picked this up. And my sister was 13. And you could tell that this is obviously Series 2, which was where Rhinox was part of that assortment, and it's the different Series 2. So the Red Eye Cheetor, as it's called. Series 2 Cheetor. But memories. Saw the second episode of Beast Wars on YTV. I was back, baby. And then I never turned back ever since. There was a small, brief moment in between G2 and Beast Wars where I was watching X-Men. I was playing arcades and Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat. But second Beast Wars came out, I was back, baby. Brown, were you disappointed after getting the Croc Megs and that the cartoon Megs and Primal were different? Actually, no, because you know what was funny? So obviously, I knew that those toys existed beforehand because in 1995 I saw the commercials for Beast Wars for the toys, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Like the cheetah shoots water, like Inferno's toy, the G2 Inferno toy. And I remember watching the second episode. Before I got Cheetor's toy, I saw the second episode of Beast Wars on YTV. And I remember going like, oh, that's interesting. Like Optimus Primal is, well, I thought it was Optimus Prime. Optimus Prime is not a bat. He's a gorilla. That's interesting that they deviated, you know? And not to mention with the mutant head thing afterwards, like going like, oh, why do they have mutant heads and stuff is different and everything. But, you know, as someone who collected G1 Transformer toys, you're already kind of conditioned to the visual on the screen is not going to look like the product. Anyone who knows G1 Ironhide, anyone who knows like some of the movie characters, they're going to have departures. So part of me was like, oh, I guess like, we'll get something later. And then like, no joke, like I think by the time episode 5 had aired, which is, I think it was The Probe, um, they had already like, or Chain of Command, either way, um, they had already revealed the big ape Optimus, and you can see back there, Ape Optimus and Megatron. Those are the reissues, though. Those are the 10th anniversary ones. So I wasn't disappointed. I liked that there was options. Again, another thing too that younger fans are not aware of. Back in the day, everyone just got one figure. Optimus Prime got the one figure and that was it. Megatron got the one figure, that was it. If he got a second figure, it's because a form changed. So to me, it was like, hey, there's two Optimus Primal toys. That's cool. Because back then you got the one Optimus Primal toy and that would have been it. There wouldn't have been like, oh, we're gonna give you a deluxe, we're gonna give you a Voyager, we're gonna give you a leader. Although those price points didn't exist back then, you know. So, you know, very cool. Brown with the $5 super chat with nothing. All right, Brown. It's cool either way. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, you don't have anything you need to say, Brown? I will gladly read it. Say something. I'll read it. No problem. Um, but yeah, like it was cool times. Those were like, and it was cool because when I saw that second episode of Beast Wars, and that was like my rebirth back into Transformers back in 1996. I had the internet. Like I had just gotten the internet, no joke, maybe like, gosh, 3 months prior to that, maybe even like earlier. So it was just like perfect timing. Because I remember I first got the internet, the first thing I did was look for Dragon Ball stuff because Dragon Ball was very popular in Quebec. Like we were watching Dragon Ball long before it was on Toonami. And I was like looking for Dragon Ball stuff, I was looking for anime stuff, I was looking for nude photos because I was 14 years old. Don't judge me. Cindy Crawford nude, slowly downloading. Oh, nipples. Anyways, typical internet stuff that a 14-year-old would look for. And but then Beast Wars came out, and I started looking stuff up, and I came across Beast Wars FAQ, Benson Yee's Beast Wars FAQ, and it was like, oh wow! And there's a forum on here, and there's a community. Like, it is what it is, And then I created a screen name. I joined the Transformer community. I was on ATT and Beast Wars. Benson Yee's Cindy Crawford, Cindy who? Yeah, shows how. Once again, I'm dating myself. She was hot at one point, children. She was hot at one point. Um, she was our Kim Kardashian, just without all the surgery and vroom, vroom, TFCon Twins with the $7 super chat has there officially confirmed that Vector Prime is going to be a straight repack. He also needs his sigil on him. So from what Mark and Evan said, I think they answered it through Instagram. It's going to be a repack, although they're not out of the question of doing a redeco in the future. And I've said it before, and you've said it here too, Aaron Archer Gold. Do him in gold, do it as Aaron envisioned, and it just makes sense. You don't even have to do new tooling or partial. Just straight up redeco, do it in gold. Do it in yellowish gold, not like gold plastic, but like do it in gold. Little chrome somewhere, that'd be cool. But that's what I would like to see. Otherwise, I think your original Vector Prime toy fits the bill better. Just looks better. I love that original Cybertron toy. Looks amazing. That's why it's always on. Aaron Archer's booth. Such a great looking figure. Brown says, "Sorry, I screwed the pooch with that. I was going to mention that you absolutely right. That Lego Transformers versus other model kits. I did. When did I talk about it? I don't. Lego Transformers versus other model kits. I don't remember talking about it. All I know is that the Creos were very affordable. The Lego Transformer stuff's a little expensive. I still don't have the Bumblebee or the Soundwave because I'm just like, ugh. And she's the one who really wants them, but I'm like, I don't know. That's pricey. Carmen Electra, there's another hot one. Kathy Ireland, there's another hot one. A lot of hotties. A lot of hotties. There's a super chat missed. Did I miss a super chat? One sec. Twins Corner. Oh, here we go. Draco Rex. Any word on Shockwave? Sorry about that, Draco Rex. Thank you. Nothing yet. I see what I imagine. I think I said this last week also. I imagine the Shockwave is going to be like a featured item at San Diego Comic-Con. It just feels like because they have to have something that's the centerpiece every show. Like there's always like last San Diego, it was we're going to do a big reveal of something, and then we're going to have the prototype of it on display, and then we're going to have another central item of that brand also on display. And last San Diego that passed, it was the Titan class Grimlock from Age of Extinction, and then the Quintus Prime revealed for the first time, and then they had it on display. So those and also the Amalgamus. So I get a feeling we're going to have they have to, and this is the deal that they make with San Diego. The deal that Hasbro does with San Diego is, look, we're going to give you a whole bunch of newsworthy stuff that we're going to debut, and you give us, give us a little bit of a deal on the tables and stuff, and the booth and the setup and the floor plan. So that's kind of the little agreement that they make in order to help each other out. So the Shockwave, I imagine, is going to be one of them. I imagine the last of the crossover stuff, specifically, like there's a rumored Batman and a whole bunch of those. So I think a lot of those are going to be like those featured items. I think the year before that, that's when they debuted the Michael Knight, Agent Knight, Knight Rider. They debuted that the year before that. I remember they brought it by our booth, and we were like, oh, that's so cool, So there's a few items that I imagine are probably going to be making their debut there. That's what I think. Just based on what I've seen in the past couple of years now going to SDCC and what is the formula of how they do things. And it makes sense because they have to have like these big items. And think about it, right? Like they could be like this, it's all about the way that they present it, right? They'll be like, this was our fan created item, voted by the fans. Here it is on display. Like you want to weave the story, and that makes it more exciting than, hey, here's our new crossover Batman, a brand that we technically don't own. So it weaves a better story. So save Shockwave for that. And you could bring Batman to one of the smaller or a Toy Fair or something. New York Toy Fair, which actually should be happening soon. New York Toy Fair, that also should be coming around not too long from now. So the Javits Center or whatever it's called there. Zio Mike HK just saw, I guess Hong Kong just released MPG 17 Optimus Prime. Got to play around with it and love it because of the combo of all the different Prime elements and design. Seems out of place being in the MPG line. Well, I mean, it is something where I feel like it almost should have been a different kind of MP. You had MPM for movie, now they have MPMN. So like you could have had I think MPG should have been that stuff, and then they just continue the MP. Like continue doing Masterpiece, let those be MPs, and then the MPGs could be the weird stuff, like the combiners and this. The Hot Rod one still confuses me because you look at the Optimus, and it's like, here's all these weapons from all the different Optimuses throughout the continuities. And here's Hot Rod, and it's just, here's here's Studio Series Hot Rod, but better. That's it. With less stuff, actually, but still cool. I'm still going to buy it, but don't get me wrong. But very, very cool. Very, very cool. Tom Laney's still waiting on animated Lugnut. Yeah, see, that's another one, too. I wonder why they haven't gotten to that. I think, you know what? In all honesty, I think it's a trademark thing. I really do. I think it's something where they're like, yeah, Lugnut 1. Let's do a Lugnut. We don't have the trademark. Oh. Guess we're going to have to wait till we get that trademark back. And then they could do it. I think that's the only reason. Because, I mean, to do a plane bomber transformer, there's a few characters they could get out of that, too. So It's not like it was like there's been a lot of Voyagers and Leaders that we've gotten since that Lugnut 1 that could have been in that slot and probably would have performed better in sales. But mind you, the one of the Lugnuts back in the day, what was the Atomic Lugnut? That one didn't sell very well. I remember that was a bit of a shelf warmer back in the day because it was just like it's like Lugnut but weirdly colored. Uh, let's read Tom Laney. Hey, Mr. Archer, when arching this stream, messing with blockies, instructions, be perfect size for headshot portrait. I must have. Oh, you're asking, will the instructions for blockies be perfect for headshots? Yeah, he's done. He's done. He's done a few blockies instructions Posca paintings in the past. So if you're interested, contact him and maybe he'll work something out for you. But yeah, you know, it is what it is, my friends. It is what it is. Mike also says MPG 17 compared to MP 44 almost has no surface paint. Well, again, they're very different too. Like that's the thing too. Like the sizes are different, the budget is different, the the purpose of like I feel like, especially looking at the hot rod because that's the one I really hyper focus on. It looks like what if you took Studio Series 86 hot rod and it's like you look at Studio Series 86 hot rod. The extras that he has is because he's a Voyager, but he could have been a deluxe. You strip away some of those extras, he could have been a deluxe. Not having the opening, closing hands, the extra accessories, he could have been a deluxe. So then you put him in a Voyager box, here's the extras. What if you put him in a Leader box? Then he could have been MPG, or put him in a Commander box. Then he could have been really MPG with all the other extras, you know? So that's kind of like the way I see it. James, hey Proto, do you think we will get Studio Series Rise of the Beast Stratosphere? Well, I mean, the thing is, Studio Series is always about scale. So if we still had core class, right? If we still had the core class Studio Series, I could see a Titan class Stratosphere, and them being able to like, oh, hey, you could kind of fudge it, just kind of like how the old Stratosphere. I always keep him near. The old Stratosphere had that little Optimus, you know? So it's like, I mean, I have the original Revenge of the Fallen Stratosphere. He's not the scale of nobody, you know? So it's something where if we still had core class, I could see them doing it. But because Studio Series is all about, oh, we got to do the scale, everyone's got to scale well. I don't know. They're not going to be able to keep that promise if they do a Stratosphere. There's no price point that exists that can match that. It would have to be a crazy Unicron HasLab. And even then, it doesn't match the scale, even if it would be that big. So they'd have to do something that kind of is outside of that. And they have to have the Stratosphere trademark, which I don't know if they have that anymore. That's a whole other conversation. You want to talk about 3D chess, and I said this before in the individual segments. You want to know when's the next combiners and who they're going to be. Look at the top right there. That's called YOLO Park trademark, making sure some trademarks are nice and fresh and good for Hasbro. So I'm just saying. So it's kind of the same thing going on there. Would love a new Revenge of the Fallen Stratosphere without GPS. The fact that that is true scares the crap out of me of ever touching that toy ever again. That toy was transformed into robot mode after opening it and has stayed in robot mode since, mind you, I bought it in 2009, but I didn't get around to opening it until like 2011. But man, that's scary, the fact that that's true. And it was such a cool looking toy though, and he towers over every other Revenge of the Fallen toy outside of like Optimus and a few other larger price point stuff. It's a great figure. Just sucks that the GPS is a thing because that ruins it for people wanting to buy one. Guillaume, I just came here to rewatch your Beast Wars card back. My mom threw them away, and when I moved with my roommate in 2011, we owned every Wave one before they changed to the trilingual packaging. Well, they always were trilingual in Quebec. If you again, this really shows that these are mine because you have Beast Wars, Guerre de Beast, and then you got the. And then I think let me show you some examples of trilingual to non-trilingual. One moment. So I know I bought some Beast Wars stuff when I would go to when I'd go to Plattsburgh. Let me find one. So like here's Transmetals, how they looked back in the day. See here. Let me show a good example of that side by side. Hold on. I want to make sure I got everything here. So here's a good example. So here is me buying Beast Wars Transmetal 2 Dinobot locally here in Quebec, in Canada. Trilingual packaging. Look how big the art is on the back there and how big the tech spec is. So that was the one good thing. If you buy the French version, French Canadian version, which is also have English on it, the art is way bigger and it's a way bigger tech spec. So there. This is now right here you have this is what the Americans got. So didn't have the trilingual, it's just said Beast Wars on the front. But here's where it sucked to be an American. Look how I'll try to show this as best I can. I'll flip it the other way here. Look how small the tech specs were in comparison. So the art, was a little cropped, just a little bit, but the tech specs were smaller, you know. So that's something where, there is differences when you get one or the other. I'm not saying it's better. I'm not saying it's worse. I'm just saying it's different. I think that the art on the front is better for the American one because the logos might get in the way and cover the character. For this one, it does a better job of that. Very cool. Very, very cool. Anytime to talk about Beast Wars card backs. And then here's a really good one. Here's a really good one. I have some bootleg stuff in here too. So what do you think this is a card back for? With the Double Zeta Gundam. What do you think this is a card back for? So if you look at the shape of the card back, that's actually a Beast Wars bubble on there. So this was a bootleg Galaxy with Tigatron on here. The very first time I owned Tigatron, I bought a bootleg of him for $5 from Chinatown. It has nothing on the back. It's boring. So very, very cool. And then this one, Savagery Brave. Bootleg Beast Wars. Look at the back there. Look at that one. Chinese, Savagery Brave. Wave 1. This is how I got my first Dinobot, but it was a bootleg, so the colors were terrible. Obviously, I would get a good Dinobot later. What did I pay for this? Jeez, I paid $10 for this. Damn. But very, very cool. Love them. Love them. Stacks of history. Stacks of history. I have more of those Galaxy ones carded. I kept a few of them because throughout the years, whenever I find bootleg Beast Wars stuff, I buy it sight unseen. Like I don't even think twice. Because I look back now, when Beast Wars was so popular during the late 90s, the bootlegs were everywhere in Chinatown. And the only stuff I was buying was I would buy bootlegs of characters I didn't have because they were cheaper than buying the real ones, although they sucked because they usually were missing paint on the face or the guns were different. All the ones that had water spraying gimmicks, they'd have a screw through it for some reason. One day I'll take photos and show it on my Instagram and Twitter one day. But man, like there was so much of it, and the only stuff that I was buying was the bootlegs of stuff I didn't own the originals of, and they would once in a while have a Beast Wars Second or a Beast Wars Neo like Kabaya candy toy in Chinatown. Those were official, and I'd buy those. So that's about it. Like, I wish I could show you guys. Hold on a second. I have so much more. It's all you can't see the ground here, but I've been sorting a whole bunch of stuff, just trying to make sense of it all. Because I have like these ones too. I've been sorting. I haven't put them like these are like keychains. It's backwards of Scuba, and that's actually supposed to be Megastorm from Beast Wars second. Just been sorting. I pulled it all out of the crawl space, and I'm like, okay, let's make some sense of all this stuff. I sorted all nice. Uh, very brave. T Formers 2002. Is it possible for him to be any more brave than Savagery? Well, and you know what's sad too? Like, all the card backs only have Dinobot on them. So like, I have another one of these because I got also Tarantulas. The bootleg. Actually, I think I took photos of the bootleg. It might be somewhere, but the bootleg had different colors on it, so pretty cool. Doesn't show it here though because they just one for one copied the old card back on the back there. But it's kind of cool. They show the instructions there. They didn't include instructions, just showing you how to transform it. And again, this is when I would now start using the X-Acto blade to remove the bubbles. So you have the art all nice there. The hanger still on there. It kills me now. I look back, I was like, I should have bought them all. Should have just bought everything because they were unique. They had different decos on them. The Dinobot had like a gray silvery face with a black like crown helmet. The Cheetor had like the face wasn't painted, so it was like an all yellow face. They had like little unique quirks to them that were cool. They're very very cool. Cringe McCringle, can Takara make a line where they reissue figures for non-fragile material? Well, the incentive is there. You know what I mean? Like to give some examples, it's kind of like how you have Razor Beast. That's a solid figure. You can't break Razor Beast. And then Takara does Beast Wars Neo Randy, and he's a GPS nightmare. So there's nothing saying you can't take a mold and just inject it with plastic that isn't going to be a problem. But it's a good example of that is Armada Predacon. The original Transmetal 1 Megatron has all this brown plastic on him that crumbles and breaks, super fragile toy. And then Japan did Beast Wars Metals Megatron. That one was solid, can't break that one. And then fast forward to Armada, and they took that mold and they made it Armada Predacon, which came with some retooling on him too. He had some little Minicon ports now molded onto him. And yeah, he's cool. He's cool, man. Nothing breaks on those. So it's not out of the question. It's just, is there an incentive? Are people going to pay? You know, if they reissue Stratosphere from Revenge of the Fallen all these years later, the sad truth is a lot of those Walmart reissues, and Walmart seems to kind of have right now like the monopoly on reissues of Transformer stuff. A lot of the reissues are like hit or miss in terms of success. Like, let's be real, all those Beast Wars stuff did not sell well, and that's coming from the Beast Wars guy. Like, every single Beast Wars reissue sold very poorly. So, and it didn't hurt that they were expensive, but you know, it is something where it's like, I'm pretty sure they're apprehensive to go, hey, let's do, it's been 20 years since the 2007 movie. Let's do reissues of like those old 2007 movie toys. I don't know. Is there a market for it? Would people want it? Yeah, there's going to be outliers that are hardcore fans and be like, yeah, I'd love to own like the original carded and da da da. But when we're talking tens of thousands of units across every single, Walmart, Targets, GameStop and everything like that, how many are you moving really? That the interest is there, that the demand meets the needs. Imagine a non-fragile G1 Black Zarek. Well, they did a reissue, a bootleg. What was it called there? Dark Scorpion Giant. You could Google that. It's a one-for-one Japanese third-party bootleg of Black Zarek, and I think he's under $100. So, I mean, I got my original. You can't even see it, but it's back there, and I'm terrified to touch it. I leave that thing in robot mode permanently. But there's a reissue of it. It's out there. It's out there. Pick up that one. I forget what the name of the company is. They sent me one. I still have it boxed. I never opened it, but because I was thinking of maybe just selling it. But they sent it to me just to kind of give them a shout out. But I think it was Dark Giant Scorpion. I think it was something like that. Dark Giant Scorpion. It has metal on it too. It has non-GPS plastic, so get that one. Get that one. It's good. It's good. I messed with it for a bit and then I put it back in the box quickly. Nice box, cool stuff. Whole bunch of extras. They're doing the Brave colored one, the red one later on. That one interests me. Toys Star makes it. There you go. There you go. And that's something I know Takara is not going to do. So like to me, I'm totally fine with third party when they're making something that I truly feel will just never happen. Like it's just if it's not taking money out of the IP holder's hands, you know, then I'm fine with it. Like I don't ever see Takara Tomy ever digging up the old Majin Zarek, Black Zarek, you know, it's just not going to happen. It's just Mega Zarek for Japanese people for Scorponok. You know, they're not going to do that. Fortress Maximus sold so poorly, the reissue that they did through Encore, that they're not going to go that route. That's too big. That takes too much space. The market isn't there anymore. The fans aren't there anymore. The Japanese population and the space is reducing. Like, there's no reason for them to do that. And again, same thing. I can't imagine Walmart agreeing to that with how poorly the reissues sold. It's better to just make new ones and new versions of those characters. So if the official ones are never going to happen, then I'm fine with third party doing it. I again, the company has all the right to complain if they were going to do it. If they were going to do it, fine. But if you're not going to do it, then it's almost like okay, you know, different story. So there's a lot, and again, there's a lot of stuff that'll never happen. There's a lot of stuff that'll never happen. So it fills the voids for those people and it makes those people happy. You know, that's the most important thing. You know how many people would probably love to own a Generation 1 Scorponok? Not Scorponok, Black Zarek. But first of all, thousands of dollars complete, and every single one of them will crumble in your hands, even at thousands of dollars. So, Twins, TFCon Twins, so sad to see the reissue line dead off. Getting a new release of Beast Combiners was such a missed opportunity. Yeah, I mean, and that's another one too that suffers from GPS. The Silverbolt specifically, that's part of the Magna Boss. But yeah, no, I'm with you on that. Like I loved those reissues because it created opportunities to revisit some of those molds. I was always kind of curious to see how they would update them. What would they take away? What would they add to them? It was almost like a little bit of a science experiment for someone like me from the toy side of things. And it was just cool to have them carded again. Just some of them to have them like in the original, like, carded packaging. Like I bought every single one of them. I think the only one I'm missing, who am I missing? I got I think I got Pterosaur, but I'm missing someone from Pterosaur's Wave. But I think it's the only one I'm missing. I bought every single one of them just to like, not kind of like to support it, but also because I wanted to own some boxed versions of these characters. Because I own the card backs, I own the boxes, but I don't own boxed versions sealed. So, and the Scorponok was cool because they used the Japanese colors, so it wasn't really like a one for one reissue. It was like a reissue of the Japanese version, so that was like a nice touch. They were great. They were great. The Tigatron too. Tigatron was like a reissue of the Japanese version. There was a few there's a few cool things going on there. I think the Tigatron's really cool, actually. That's one. If you could pick up that Tigatron for like $20, I know like it went on clearance, but like now that time has passed, if you could pick up that Tigatron for like $20, that's a good deal. Considering that like this is a mess for most people. It's not a mess for me, but for most people, that Tigatron, that one yellowed to death. So you could pick up the original Beast Wars one. It's a great toy. It's a fantastic toy. I love that old Cheetor mold. That thing's so fun. The water gimmick and the extra gun. Fantastic figure. Tom Laney, how many more Junkions do you think could be possible? The sky's the limit. Look, we just had what's his name? We just had Jalopy that Mark put together. As many as they want to make. As many as they want to make. It's a matter of a color scheme and a visual and a vibe. You put Junkion colors on here, it's a color scheme, it's a vibe. You take this guy, you put a Junkion color scheme on him, and it's a visual and a vibe. You know, so where we T-Formers 2002 Junkie Tigatron is solid. Love him. Yeah, amazing figure. That's why I bought the bootleg, because I remember I went to my friend Brandon's house. He got it, and I remember messing with it and going like, "Oh my god, I know I have Cheetor, but the Tigatron colors are so cool." And then I saw the bootleg. Man, I should one day. You know what? Hold on. I want to show you them. Give me a moment. I want to show you guys the bootlegs. Show you guys the bootlegs. Let me pull it out of the case. Oh, there goes that. And then let me grab, I don't know if you guys can see me in the camera. Hello, hello. Let me go grab the original Tigatron from back in the day. And then let me grab the Takara version. So you get the whole history. So, let's have some fun today, some show and tell. So, the original Tigatron, which is a fantastic figure. Here he is over here. Beautiful with his water gun and his blaster. He comes in this cream color. He was not pre-yellowed beforehand. That's just how it was. They gave him a weird kind of cream color scheme. I think it's a bit of a holdover from when he was supposed to actually be a tiger in orange. And I think they just kind of found a middle ground in a lot of ways. Proto, see, we got Big Convoy Magmatron. Do you think we will get Magnaboss and Tripredacus? I mean, I would love to see that. Half of those are trademarks that could be done. I mean, if you do Magnaboss, you already have, they're all named after G1 characters. So that's an easy one, you know? So you got this guy, right? And then this one I bought at BotCon back in the 2000s. This is the Japanese version. The difference between the Japanese version and the reissue is very little. It's very similar. So like now you can see like the Japanese version, they colored his eyes. Like it just looks fantastic. Oh man, should I get the Tigatron from the Telemocha? Because that one too is crazy also. Should I reach over and grab that one? Giggity. I'll leave it for now. But yeah, so the reissue that they did with Walmart is like the Japanese one, and it looks really cool. Like it's much more screen accurate, and just this looks like it was like in the sun. This one wasn't. But here's what's cool. So here's the bootleg, right? I want to pose them right so you can really see. So here's Proto Man. He goes to his friend Brandon's house. Oh my God, that's so cool. Oh, I can't wait to get that. And then he buys the bootleg. So the bootleg, you can tell right away. Look at his arm. So like they had one piece of plastic there. They didn't paint his face. Like it's all splotches of paint on there. And if you look at the blaster, the water blaster, they put a screw in the intestine of the water blaster. Oops, this one here. Like look at that, look at this hot mess side by side. There's no silver paint. The bootleg, no silver paint on the face. Terrible. So I bought it's almost there. It's Proto Man is poor, doesn't have money. He'll buy the bootleg, you know. But the weird paint on the head, kind of a little different. The paint on the head, but yeah, I have the Cheetor also. I have the Cheetor, the Dinobot, the Tarantulas, the Tigatron. Who else do I have? I'm trying to remember who else I bought from that wave, because I couldn't afford the real ones, but I could sure as hell afford the fake ones. And the plastic quality's not too bad. I mean, you could clearly tell it is a bootleg. It's that more MABS plastic as opposed to the ABS. But I mean, you know, I'll give him credit. Like here's a interesting where at least the bootleg did better. So this one, the official one, they painted the silver on the front and then they stopped painting afterwards. Right? They just painted the front, right? And they put the tiger stripes, painted the front. That's it. The bootleg, they painted the front and then they kept going. So at least they put more paint on the legs. I guess that's kind of cool. Although when you put it in tiger mode, maybe it's more noticeable. I don't know. So yeah, it could be Snowstalker. That's a good point, T-formers. Yeah, you can make it that it's Snowstalker if she transformed. Yeah. But they stand in my. I have a glass display behind me where I put all my like my high end bootlegs, my bootlegs that I'm happy about. Like they're so cool. But this one, like they put a screw right through the intestine so it doesn't work. You know, which I always thought was so weird to do. Maybe it was for like stability when it's molded in the factory. I don't know, but very very funny. But again, if you could get the reissue just makes them all look silly, and it's great, absolutely great. Yeah, man, if you spend like $20 or something, you'll be happy. You'll be happy with that mold. You can't go wrong. You know, can't go wrong. Good mold. 20 bucks American, 25 Canadian. That was a good one. And at one point it was like, at one point it was on clearance too, so you probably could have got it cheaper. But yeah, but I have like a bunch of those. One day I'm gonna do like a nice photo shoot. I want to like put like the Dinobot bootleg next to the original and show the differences, and I want to do that one day. Bring them all in, all the cool stuff. Because I have so many bootlegs because I couldn't afford real Transformers growing up. So I had so many bootlegs as a kid, and then I ended up having like a nostalgia for them. So now I like go back and try to track those down, you know, because now I have all the official ones. So now I got to go find the bootlegs. And the irony is the bootlegs are kind of harder to find than the official ones. Millions of copies of this Tigatron were sold and are out there. How many of these are out there that are easy to find? Not that easy. So that's kind of the sad truth. Is that now the bootlegs, it's a one and done. Rudy Mack, what's up, Rudy? $5 super chat. Kingdom Tigatron is cemented in Transformers history. It won the Toy of the Year and then surprised us with a color changing yellow gimmick. Oh, yeah. Secret gimmick not included. Put it in the sun and put it in the sun or put it in a humid area and get it to turn. It'll turn into the original toy. You know, it'll turn into the original toy. That is why it's the figure of the year. It truly is. T-Former, some Ollies still might have them. Well, if you can find them at Ollie's cheap, pick them up, man. I know I see when people go to Ollie's, I still see Pterosaur is still hanging on the pegs at Ollie's. But if you could find Tigatron, pick him up, man. That's a great toy. Pterosaur's okay. He's one of the flip changers. Not too bad. Could lose that gun very easily around his neck. But Tigatron's a fantastic figure. Beast Wars had some like bangers, like just some banger figures, man. That just were like all kinds of cool, like sculpted detail and good paint and like most of them will come with like two weapons and a mutant head. So there's all these like extra little play features in them. Very fun for creativity and everything. Always were great. Always were great. Plasticon Studios, what's up? What's up, Jason? How you doing? Bootlegs are the best. What we got here? So that's you, Sarah. I'm back. It is you, Sarah. I'm back. Rise of the Beast Deluxe at $10. Voyagers at 20 in Mexico right now. I'm buying 4 Air Razors, 2 Optimus trucks, and 4 Cheetor. Hey, man, if they're cheap, why not? Liquidate that inventory. I always say it's not scalping if it's like dead stock that has been there forever and now it's cheap. Get that stuff out of there. You're actually doing a favor. You're doing a favor for everyone else because if like That inventory's been there forever, and now it's on clearance price, and you come in and just swoop it all out. Some people might be like, "Oh, you're a scalper. You're buying all the inventory." You had your chance at full price, and no one wanted it. You know. So now that person got it out of there. Now the pegs are empty. Now they could order new product, and then you could be happy with that instead. So now you could be happy with that. Uh, Quality on that reissue pterosaur was pretty poor. Same with the iguanas. Really? Oh, that's a shame. I didn't open up any of those reissues. That's the thing. Like the only reissues that I opened up were some of the G1 ones, if they had like something unique about them, like obviously the Hot Rod and a few others. I didn't open up any of the Beast Wars ones. I was just like admiring them through the packaging. Oh, for some weird reason, right? Retrax is missing feet on each one of his legs. That's how they saved a little bit of money on plastic. Sculpting one less foot. Oh, some of these characters have less paint on them. So they're very, very cool though. I love Beast Wars. They will always be number one. Always. Just they came in at a time when Transformers was in a funky place. They managed to secure getting a CG cartoon, which I'll stand by. I think that's what really saved Beast Wars and Transformers, is it being a CG cartoon. If this show was 2D animation, it would have had the same success of G.I. Joe Extreme and some of those other Power Block cartoons. I don't think it would have had the same success because Beast Wars as a toy line came out a whole 6 months before the show was even like a thought. And people were buying it in bits and pieces. Transformers always has a bit of a market. It always sells okay, but it wasn't like the blockbuster that it would end up becoming with Beast Wars. And even early Beast Wars was like that. TFCon twins, I really hope Mark and Evan and the gang start giving us more Beast Wars characters for the Toyline Season 1, Neo, Beast Wars 2nd, Long Rack, Clawjaw, Razor Beast. Razor Beast amazing. Combiners, we need more. Well, it looks like every time they do, they knock it out of the park. Every so often we get a Beast character, so it wouldn't surprise me. And again, when you have to retread some characters, think about it, right? If they have to do Iguanus again, look, we already got Iguanus as a core class. If they have to do Iguanus again, obviously they're not going to just retread the same Pretender shell from Generation 1. They could do a Beast Wars one. So there's a few trademarks that they've already done their G1 counterparts. Now they could do their Beast Wars counterparts. And it's more of an excuse to do it because you could be doing something fresh and keeping the trademark safe. Rudy Mack, I was watching some Beast Wars yesterday and opened my Quick Strike. Do you have a original carded Quick Strike, or are you talking about the new one that we got that's an absolute amazing figure? And again, another great example of Mark and Evan and the crew doing new Beast Wars stuff, you know? But yeah, Beast Wars, I mean, anyone who calls themselves a Transformer fan and doesn't like Beast Wars, I get it. You're entitled to your opinion, but I'm very curious to ask you then what is good if Beast Wars is considered bad? Like, do you really not like animals then? Like, did you get attacked by Harambe? Did you get attacked by a gorilla in your childhood or something? Like, I don't get it. Was Barney a trigger moment when you were a child, and that's why you don't like purple dinosaurs? I don't know. Because I had this discussion with someone. I don't want to name him, but it was someone from TFCon back in the day, and hated Beast Wars, hated it. And I would just be like, but what don't you like about it? And if you hate Beast Wars, what is so great about G1 that Beast Wars is something you hate? So always was perplexing to me. Because I grew up on G1. I'm a car guy. I love cars. But, you know, watch Guerrilla Warfare. I know everyone says Code of Hero. That's an amazing episode. Go watch Guerrilla Warfare Season 1. You will never see that ever done today in Transformers for television. Guerrilla Warfare, my God, there's blood in it. There's impaling. There's they're killing each other. And then in all of that, there's a zen moment at the end of true character development and animation that was made 30 years ago that still holds up. It's crazy. Go back, like if that's your homework today. It's somewhere on YouTube. I know someone must have uploaded it in HD. Go watch Beast Wars Season 1 Guerrilla Warfare. Mm-mm. Good stuff. Something that I learned from a flower. Sarah. So there's a rumor about some guy at Hasbro that says that the new Unicron soldier is a new Torca mold, and I need more info about that. That is the first I hear of that. I've never heard that. I'm a Proto Man fan. As in Mega Man? Well, I don't blame you there. I don't blame you. I'm a Proto Man fan too. Mega Man is amazing. But yeah. Oh my God, we're already past the 2 hour mark. We'll take a couple more questions and then we will call it a night. And then I could get back to sorting these card backs. My goodness, I have a lot of them. And there's two more boxes in the crawl space of the ones that still have the bubbles attached to them. So I'm gonna make like a master list of everything I have. So that way, like if I'm in the wild and I go, oh, here's a loose carded, I don't know, who am I missing? A loose carded black arachnia, you know? Oh, I could get that one. Oh, what do you want for it? Oh, a buck? Because, a lot of times people are giving away these card backs. They don't care. So I'm going to start tracking those down just for Beast Wars. Maybe Beast Machines. Beast Machines don't have as nice art, but definitely Beast Wars. I'm going to try to track them all down. Very sexy, those card backs. Very cool. Very, very cool. And bootleg stuff. I'm always looking for bootleg stuff. Sarah says that Airraiser mainline Rise of the Beast mold is the best of the best bird transformers that ever was. Really? The mainline one. Interesting. I only have the Studio Series one. Did they send me the mainline one? Was that included in the promo box? I have this weird thing when everything they sent me with the promo box, I almost want to leave it, even the stuff that was included. I almost don't want to open them. I want to just keep it as one package. Was Airraiser in there? I know the Smash Changer Optimus was in there. The masks were in there. Geez, I don't know. Was the Airraiser in there? Have to check. Is it really that good? Interesting. It's a shame they didn't do more with it. What about Machine Wars card backs? Got everything. Machine Wars, I got everything top to bottom. The only thing is I actually have to rebuy Thundercracker because my old Thundercracker suffered from GPS and rest in peace. So I have to rebuy Machine Wars Thundercracker. If I could find one in robot mode, not broken, then I could recomplete my Machine Wars collection is complete, but Thundercracker's broken. He broke during the move, unfortunately. But yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. We'll take one or two more, and then we're going to call it quits. Cringe McCringle, Mark Evan put in another request for Studio Series 2007 Swindle at the end of the stream. Yeah, it'd be cool to get some of the video game guys with the mono eye. Swindle was a cool one. Again, another one that's a trademark that, hey, you need to use Swindle as a trademark. Although we just got a Swindle, so maybe not so soon. Let's put it that way. Cringe McCringle. We might have to wait on that one. Fonhart says the story was great. The story was amazing. The story was more than amazing. But that's it, more or less, guys. I think we are done for tonight. Nothing else to really say. Again, thank you for all the love and support here on the podcast. If you want to continue supporting the podcast, we have the Patreon link down there below. The Patreon link gets you access to our Discord, where all the cool people are hanging out and talking about Transformers and breaking news and sharing all kinds of stuff. And the most importantly, the deals, the sales, the deals. The most important thing about my Discord, more than anything else, is the sharing of when there's sales so we could save money on our hobby. This hobby is getting very expensive, inflation, prices, everything like that. If there is a sale, I want to make sure my patrons are able to get it, find it, and then take advantage of it. So join us, Patreon link down there below. Get your name in the end credit scrolls and everything else. all the other benefits. We're going to have I'm hoping to have the exclusive ready in time for TFCon LA. If you are a patron, we're going to reveal, when we reveal it, that'll mean that we're going to definitely have it for LA. If we have an exclusive for LA, you also get that for free if you're going to be at LA. We give you a free little exclusive if you're present at the show. Normally we would ship them out too, but right now, during your current administration, shipping for Canada is a little hazy right now going to the States. So we'll wait until that calms down a little bit and then we'll get back to that. Let's just say I haven't been doing anything with eBay either as a result of that. So, but either way, thank you for all the love and support. Again, Patreon links down there. If you want to be one of the green names today, join the YouTube membership. There's the YouTube member join button. You could join that one too. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, but most people here are subs. They're already subscribed. But thank you for all the love and support. Thank you for a great talk today, talking about the robots in disguise and all the cool stuff, all the cool things. Again, here's an example of some exclusives back in the day. You had the Patreon exclusive, the gold bug, and the yellow bee. All those ones. That was last year's exclusives for everyone who came by and picked those up. And we have, I'm holding it right here in my hand. You can't see it, but I'm holding the prototype for this year's exclusive. So stay tuned for that in the near future. Take care, guys. I am out of here. Take care of yourself, your loved ones, your friends, and your family. There's a lot of drama happening in the world right now. There's a lot of negativity. There's a lot of talking heads. Don't worry about that. Take care of yourself here and here. Don't worry about all that other stuff going on. This comes first, and this comes first. So take care of that first, okay? Take care of yourself and your friends and your family and your loved ones. That's it, man. Take care of yourself. I'm out of here, and as always, roll out.